Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Matt, and I've been really struggling trying to do this commentary for you guys. I have no idea why. It is not coming together well. Oh man, I've restarted so many times. I think my brain is becoming subconscious of how professional and how elegant I talk in these commentaries, and at this point, I just don't care. I just want to guide you guys on how to get the Messiah trophy in this game. So, let's get it. So in the first section of this game, or this part of the video, you're actually just going to be walking into a cutscene. And I say that to say, don't use your light like I'm doing here. If you really are really low on battery, just find your way around in the dark. You guys have all the time in the world to get this trophy, and I'd hate for you to waste your battery right here and not have it in the two essential points where you're going to need it.
What have you done to Lynn? Where is she?
I'm going to try not to talk through the cutscenes, but I do want to keep this commentary active, and I'm pretty sure you guys have already seen the gameplay here. So I just want to let you guys know that there is actually going to be a chase right after this cutscene. As soon as the rocks fall on Val's little minions, the game, I believe, will turn you around instantaneously, and from that moment on, you need to sprint. You actually need to hold down the sprint key while you're in the water. Even though you're not sprinting, you want to be ready to sprint as soon as you get out of that water, because Val's going to be chasing you. I'll guide you through the chase.
I show my true face. Show me your true face.
Alright, so once you get turned around, sprint. You're gonna take a left, and then we're gonna we're gonna take a right, I'm sorry. And then we're gonna take a left. We're flashing our light down that hallway so we don't get stuck. As soon as you make it here, you're gonna squeeze through on the left hand side. I believe I did a lot better of a job in this editing for the video because you know, we have some nice little transitions and even some speed ups so that we can just cut out all the unnecessary garbage, like walking with Jessica to the next cutscene in the game, or walking with Lynn. Anyways, we're entering the next section of the game with Val, and here you're gonna have to turn off two switches. I like to make my way to the switch and turn it off immediately. After you turn off the switch, crouch underwater. That way you're not spotted by Val's light. And once she's pathed off your screen, you can get up out of the water. But to make sure she's pathed away completely, there's a light that will show in the upper left hand corner. Once that fades away, it's safe to go and hit the next switch. And after I hit the next switch, what I usually like to do is make my way over to that wall that's in front of me now, and we're gonna do what we did just before. When we hit the first switch, we're gonna let Val's light come into the room, and that'll be our cue to crouch underneath the water so that we can let her pass by, and then make our way to crouch under the dead wires. Hopefully my volume is loud enough. I just turned it from 50 to 70. I usually commentate at 70, but I got tired for a second of editing the audio because the spikes were a little bit too loud. But when I took it down to 50, I couldn't see where I was talking in the post-commentary audio track, so I just had to man up and turn it back up to 70. Usually it's not too bad at editing, but sometimes this gets a little bit tedious. And make this jump. There's a jump that it's coming up immediately here. Just make sure you're looking down right before you jump so you can jump at the right time. Hate for you to screw up here when you're literally in the last portion of the game. So before we get into the next chase with Val, you're gonna have to get rid of one of these or use this little cart here to break through some wood. I really hate these parts in the game. I find they're just so tedious, just annoying in fact. Actually, if you switch the mechanism the wrong way, your car is not going in the right direction and it's just a mess. But once I managed to get the mechanism going the right way, pull back all the way with the cart so that it has enough momentum to hit the wood. I kept screwing up with that. I kept not pushing it back and giving it its full force, and it kept inching up against the wood without hitting it. So that doesn't happen. Just pull it until you can't pull it anymore. And once you get pretty far uphill, you'll know. The distance will be far enough in the slope of the hill you're climbing. You'll feel it in the game. So we're going down the ladder, and once you cross over to the left, you're going to be introduced to the next Val chase sequence. You'll hear Val. She'll quote something behind you. So that initiates the next sequence, and we're just going to crouch underneath this crawl space. We're using our light here to find our way through this dark cave so that we don't get stuck on anything. You want to constantly be moving, and after you're able to crawl, you just want to keep moving. I find that sometimes I get stuck crawling, so that doesn't happen. Just wiggle your mouse or your analog stick if you're playing on PS4 or Xbox One, and you should be free. Just make sure you get out of that second area, because if you don't, Val will actually crouch and she'll come through and kill you. And when you're here, there are heretics that are going to be behind you, so just make sure that you're flashing your light and continuously moving forward. I'm actually moving forward and to the left, and I kind of switch the pattern and go forward to the right. Regardless, you need to keep moving here, because if you stop even for a second, you're dead. Once you make it to the platform of the land, I like to flash my light so that I can, make sure I'm not getting stuck on anything. And once you slide down, you're just gonna climb up the ladder, and from there, find your way to the next cutscene. Completely forgot about this section, actually. It's nothing too deep though. And you're just climbing ladders. You really just want to make sure you're not falling off of the log at the top of the ladder section. And to do that, all you have to do is flash your light at the wood to make sure you're walking in the right direction. It won't actually kill you if you fall off, so you have all the time that you need to get this correct. It's not just one shot and then you're done, unfortunately. And here I kept missing the jump. I was actually thinking that the wood I was standing on was a little bit thinner than I expected it to be. So now we're making our way to the next cutscene. And yeah, I'll let you guys enjoy that. And then I'll be back when we get into the next section of the game with more enemies. You're really getting close to the end here. The end of the game is mostly filled with cutscenes to kind of relieve the tension. I personally think there's a nice balance in this last bit of the game. Not really too much towards the end here that can harm you, which is nice.
He's coming.
I don't know what you think you saw.
Alright guys, we're back for the next chase sequence. This is going to be the last chase sequence that you get in the mines. The simplest, really. All you have to do is run straight down this hallway. Gameplay is kind of chopping up here for some reason. But after you hear that drop and you make it down the hole, you're safe. Nothing actually can harm you in the mines anymore. And at this point, if you played like I played, your camera battery should be at the point where you're getting the quick time event to reload. Don't hit the reload switch. It's very easy to do that just because it pops up like a quick time event. Just make sure you're not so fast on the keys there, because I'd hate for you to get so close to the end of the game. Literally, there's only one more chase sequence, and for you to reload your battery would suck, because you'd have to start the game all over again. Let's just say you've been warned. What I like to do just so I don't do that is just place my camera down so I don't even see the reload animation or the reload key.
Fuck! Fuck! Lynn!
And here's the next section that I've sped up with Lynn.
I don't want to die here. I don't want to make you die here.
I think the main thing that was so hard about doing this commentary was the fact that I had to watch the same cutscene over and over and over and over just to kind of figure out what I wanted to say in between, and it gets a little bit boring after seeing the same thing
What the fuck?
more than 3 times.
Let's place so we can get.
So down here you're actually coming up on the next Marta chase sequence, and this one is actually a lot easier than
Lynn! You okay?
you think.
I'm sorry.
The only challenging portion of this part is the fact that Marta can change her direction if you move too quickly. She actually walks in this section, so you don't have to worry about her sprinting behind you. Now what I like to do is I actually like to move forward just a tad bit, but swivel my camera so that I can see her moving in the background. And once it gets to where you can see her, just move around this area. As you can see here, the FOV is actually really low, and that's one thing that screwed me over. So remember to take wide turns when you're doing this, especially so you can get to the stairs, because getting to the stairs is crucial. And after you do that, just follow the path that I'm taking. Like I said earlier, Marta's walking, so if you get a little bit too confused and you still have time, don't panic, and you should be fine. This is the last section of the game that can actually kill us, and I considered ending it off here, but I wanted to show the ending cutscenes. Especially this one, because it's the most satisfying. Marta's been trying to kill me the entire game, and she gets slain by a cross. But for the rest of the game, that's it. You've successfully done it. There's nothing else that can kill you in the game. We actually just skipped to the portion where Lynn is giving birth to her imaginary child. With that being said, since the rest of the game is cutscenes and there's really not much else for me to commentate over, and you guys have already seen the ending if you've played through this game once and are looking at these guides, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then leave a like down below. I'm happy that these guides helped you achieve the Messiah trophy. I know that we didn't go through the game in one battery, but hopefully you guys can forgive me for that. I was just showing off specific strategies that work and get you past specific points in Nightmare mode without actually giving you guys the true Insane Mode gameplay. That should be coming out this weekend. If not, it'll come out sometime in the near future. I'm debating if I should spend my time grinding for Insane Mode this weekend, or if I should delve and dive into a new game. So with that out of the way, thank you guys so much for watching the series. If even one little strategy helped you guys out with getting past certain points in the game, then I'm happy. These videos had a purpose, which was to help you out. So if you guys have friends that are stuck on insane mode portions of the game and they need some help, why not send them this guide? If it helped you, it can help them. Thank you so much for doing that, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Triple Force Tim is out. Peace.